See, if you are checking the routing table, just run show IP route OSPF on any router.
Show IP
Route.
route OSPF.
Okay, just hit enter. Now see, I have 10 network. 10 is the fine, which is LAN. Yes or no?
Mm-hmm.
I have 12 network also. 12 is WAN interface, right? This is network which is running between routers.
Yes.
Do you think that you need to ping 12.1.1.1 and any IP address between which is running between router 1 and router 2 from router number 5?
No, we need to ping this address.
10.1.1. Yes.
Yes.
In the same way on router number 2, you will not ping the WAN link IP address.
Yeah, we should ping this one, the LAN.
You should ping this one only, right? 20 dot miss 10.1.1.0 and 20.1.1.0 should able to communicate with each other only. Yes or no?
Yes.
And 30.1.1.1 should also able to communicate with 10, 20, and 40. And 40 is also able to communicate with 30, 20, and 10. Yes or no? This is only my
Yes.
requirement. Then
Okay, then.
why router have learned and install unnecessary 12 network, 23 network, 34 network, and 45 network in their routing table? Yes or no? If you will open router number 1, please open router 1, R1, and run command show IP route OSPF. See, routing table is not looks good, guys, because there are some WAN network like 23 network, 34 network. Yes or no? There should be
Yes.
only 20, 30, and 40. So what we can do, we can filter these prefixes, unwanted prefixes on a router. On any router, we can filter. Just go to global config mode and type here access list.
Was that
Access,
access?
access, yes, access list and number. Let's say 10. And after that, permit.
Oh,
Just permit the network which is necessary, like 20.1.1.0.
okay. 21.1.0.
Space and wildcard mask 0.0.0.255. In the same way, you will permit, just hit enter.
Okay.
In the same way, permit 30 network also. Very good. Just change it. And do same thing for 40 network.
Okay.
After running this command, nothing will happen. And run one more command, access list 10. Access list 10.
10.
And deny any. Rest should be deny. See,
Deny
through this any.
any.
Through this access control list, what I tell to router, that permit 20, 30, and 40 and rest should be deny. Yes or no?
Yes.
Okay, hit enter. And now go to OSPF mode. Router OSPF.
Router. Okay. Route, router. Come on. Router OSPF.
One, what process ID you are running here? One, okay.
Okay.
And run one command here, distribute list. Distribute,
Let me see. This.
DI,
Mhm. Oh, okay.
tree, R,
Distribute list.
list. And what number of access list you have created? 10. So just put 10.
Yes.
I am calling this access control list here. And then direction. No, no, then
Mhm.
direction also
Okay.
you need to define. A space and direction in.
Direction in.
In. In, in.
Just N.
Yes, that's it. And now you will check if routing table, just hit enter and now check routing table of router 1.
Okay. Going to show IP route.
Now you can see routing table is looking so IP route OSPF, brother. So IP route
Yeah.
OSPF.
I do show IP route OSPF.
Yes. And see the routing table, how routing table look likes. Is it
Yeah,
looking better now?
yeah. Now we just show LAN networks, not the
Yes.
WAN.
In the same way, on all routers, you can filter unwanted prefixes.
Okay. Okay. What was that command for? Like we run. Let me tell you.
First, you will create one access control list number.
What was the distribute list?
In distribute list, is a feature of OSPF that is used for prefix filtering, for network filtering.
Network filtering. Okay.
We have filtered some prefixes, yes or no? So that's why we have used distribute list feature.
Okay. First, we need to use access list. Any number was here, like number
Yes,
10 or number 0.
1
This
to 99, any number you can use here.
what's this number for? This is the area or
No,
no?
no, no, no. This is access list number.
Okay. Got it. Okay. Same like we
This
use
is not
10.
concept of OSPF.
Got it. Got it.
Through access control list, just we have defining which prefixes should be permit and which prefixes should be denied.
So we can put here any number from 1
Yes,
to
99.
99. Okay. And then access. Okay. Then we can deny any other
Yes,
item except of these. Okay. Got it. And the last we just put distribution list.
yes.
Distribute.
In the same way, you can apply, you can filter unwanted prefixes on all routers so that your routing table should looks like professional. And now you can easily see the 10 network, 20, 30, and 40 network is there.
Okay.
Okay,
Okay. Got
and
it.
now we are going to start the next module and last module, that is switching module. So
Okay.
please stop your screen sharing, and now I am going to share my screen. Just give me, got it?
Yes.
So function of switch is learning MAC address. And how switch learn MAC address? Source MAC address. Switch learn always source MAC address. Whenever switch will receive any traffic on their any interface, the first thing that switch will do is switch will learn source MAC address. Okay.
Yes.
And the second thing is it is going to check destination MAC. After that, again it is going to check their MAC address table to find the exit interface of destination device.
I think stop. I will never miss no reason.
Now this is MAC address 000.0000.000A. This is MAC address of PC1, and MAC address of PC2 is also, I'm going to change it. B. So now if PC1 will ping to PC2 again, and you will check MAC address table. So MAC address table. So you can see it have learned a MAC address on which interface? On F1/0, and B MAC address on which interface? F2/0. Getting my point?
So if we change the MAC address, is there any effects on the device or no?
No, no. In
Is it
real
fine?
time, we cannot change MAC address of device. This is permanent
Okay.
address.
Got it. Got it. Got it. Yeah. That's what was my question.
Just here, this is packet tracer. Just to show you, I have changed the MAC address. Now, when 10.1.1.1 will ping 10.1.1.2, source MAC will be A and destination MAC will be 0B. See, it will forward traffic to switch. Switch is going to update this entry. Switch is going to update this entry. It will update the entry on fast Ethernet 0/1 because it is learning MAC address on fast Ethernet 0/1 interface. After that, switch will check destination MAC. Destination MAC in the packet will be 0B. So it will check, is there any entry for 0B MAC address? Yes. Then what is exit interface? F0/2. So simply it will forward from this interface. When PC2 will send reply message, source will be 0B and destination will be 0A. It will forward to switch. Switch will first learn 0B MAC address on this port. It will update this entry and then it is going to check destination MAC is 0A. It is again going to check their MAC address table to find exit interface of 0A MAC address. So exit interface of 0A MAC address is fast Ethernet 0/1. It will forward traffic from this interface. Getting my point? This is how switch forward traffic. Till now we were discussing the router, only router, how routers forward traffic and how routers build routing table. But now we are discussing how switch forward traffic and how switch learn MAC address, how switch build their MAC address table. Getting my point? Is it clear? So this MAC address is there for 300 seconds only. So MAC address table dynamically, it will show me only dynamic entry. If I will put keyword here static, so it will show me only a static entry. So there is no static entry on this switch, yes or no? Is it clear? Is it clear, guys?
Yes, it's clear.
Yes, it's clear.
And on a particular interface also I can check MAC address, what MAC address switch have learned on fast Ethernet 0/1. So it will show you the MAC address that switch have learned on this particular interface. Got it? This is command to check MAC address on a particular interface. After that, I want to find the interface from MAC address. Getting my point? I have one MAC address and I want to find that MAC address is switch have learned that this MAC address on which port. So here I can put the MAC address. Oh. So MAC address table dynamic, and I don't have command here in packet tracer. I think this command is not supported here. Only MAC address table option is there. So MAC address table, and then either we can run dynamic, we can run static, we can run interfaces. So this is only command.
Okay.
There should be one more command. Why it's not showing here? But let me check once again which device we are using, because command should be there. It's not showing. Layer, switches ports are layer 2 port and routers port are layer 3 ports. So what we call to layer 2 port is switch port. We call layer 2 port a to switch port.
Switch
Like
over.
so. interface fast Ethernet 0/0, and then you can say switch port. It will show you detailed information about this port. So this is layer 2 port. Switch port means layer 2 port. Switch port means layer 2 port. So interface fast Ethernet 0/0 switch port. This command is also, I can do one thing. I can configure these things in EVE-NG, because in EVE-NG also I have switch. So just to make you understand, I am going to use switch on EVE-NG, and you can configure it in packet tracer. Packet tracer is fine for you, but for me it's not fine, because here I am not able to run some command. Or we can do one thing, we can take access of real device. So what do you want? Should I
think-
take access of real device?
Yeah, real device will be awesome.
Real device will be best. So let me
Yes.
close the EVE-NG also. Just give me 1 second, I am going to turn on the device. Okay,
Okay, thank you.
Purple. Ilham.
so I have turned on the rack. Just it is booting, devices are booting. Just give me some time. Till then let me try to access. See how I am going to design topology in rack. I will have one switch, and in my rack I don't have PC, so I will use router as a PC. I will use router as a PC. So this is my switch. This is my switch, and here I am going to connect to router. Let's say R1 and R2. I will disable routing in this router, so that this router will act like a PC. Getting my point, what I am saying? Here I will disable routing on router number 1 and on router number 2. So if you will disable routing, then your router will act like a PC. So here I will, this will be my fast Ethernet 0/0. This will be also my fast Ethernet 0/0, and this interface will be 0/1, and this interface will be 0/2. Fine. Here I will configure IP address 10.1.1.1. Here I will configure IP address 10.1.1.2. Okay, so now I have access. You can see it is asking for password. So PM123 is the password, I think. Yes. Let me take access of switch 1. This is my switch 1. Three R1. I'm going to say PC1. R2. I'm going to say okay. Clear line 19. This is my PC2. What happened? Why I'm not getting access of switch? Oh, there is some problem with switch 1. I'm not getting access of switch 1 here. Actually, I am using my rack after some time, after long time. Let me do one thing. Let me try to access switch 2 here. I'm trying to access switch through putty. 192.168.1.190 is the IP address of my rack. Port number of telnet is 23. It's asking for password PM123 and say switch 1. Enable PM123 and clear line 22 and switch 1. Through putty also I am not able to access switch 1.
Did you remote access to your router through? Okay. Yeah.
Here in packet tracer I can see the topology, but in real device I cannot see the topology. Yes or no?
Yeah.
So what I will do on switch, I am running show CDP neighbor. In real time we are running this command show CDP neighbor to check directly connected device. It will show me how many directly connected devices are there. So see, it is saying the PC2 and PC1 is connected. PC2 is connected on fast Ethernet 1/0/2 and PC1 is connected on fast Ethernet 1/0/1. And now I can design the topology. Yes or no?
Yes.
Okay, and see here, if I am running command show MAC address table and I am putting question mark, see I have lots of option. Yes or no? That was not there in packet tracer.
Yes.
Okay, and so MAC address table, if I will hit enter over here, so that also you can see there is some static entry on real device. So on real devices there will be some static entry. These are 4 protocols which we are going to learn in upcoming day.
These all? Wow.
These all, not these all but almost all. These MAC addresses, see, these are the default MAC addresses inside the MAC address table of switch. This is a static entry.
Okay.
I have run command show MAC address table only, yes or no? And if I am running show MAC address table and static, then also it will show me these all MAC addresses. Getting my point? Total number of MAC address is total MAC address for this criterion is 20.
So this MAC address is which they are connected to the switch, switch one, right?
Yes, this is by default on switch.
Okay. That
You
means
were
that,
not able to see these MAC address on packet tracer because packet tracer, in packet tracer, output is different. Packet tracer is just for practice, but this is real device. Whatever thing you are able to see here, same thing you will see in real time.
Mhm.
So by default, if you will purchase a brand new switch, then also you will have these MAC addresses on MAC address table by default. Suppose if you are purchasing a brand new switch from the market and you will check so MAC address table, so you will see these all MAC address.
Where they get this MAC address from?
This is in built-in operating system. This is in build in operating system. Like if you will check running configuration, so run. I have configured anything on this switch? No, but still there is some configuration, yes or no? Like host name of this switch is SW1. Okay, so these are default configuration. There is one protocol running, that is a step STP, spanning tree protocol. By default, that switching protocol is enabled on switch. See, these are the configuration of interfaces. So these are default configuration. I
Okay.
have not configured anything.
Okay.
Okay. But if I am going to check show MAC address table dynamic, that how many address you have learned dynamically, so it's saying 2 only. This is the MAC address of router 1 and this is the MAC address of router 2. Okay.
Yes.
In dynamic, why it have learned 2 MAC address? How it have learned 2 MAC address? Because by default routers are sending lots of packet. By default, if you want to check that switch is receiving how many packet on a particular interface, you can run one command. So interface fast ethernet 1/0/1 and say include packets input. It's not showing me. Okay, let me check like this. 1/0/1. On this particular interface, if I will maximize it, you can see how many packet have in over here. Output packet is this one.
310.
Packets output. And packet input is 60. That means it have received 60 packets, and I can use command like this also just to filter the output, because there are lots of things. So I can say packets input here. So it is showing me input packet. If I will say packet output, then it will show me the output packet, means how many packet have out from this particular interface. So see now, I have not configured anything. Then also switch is receiving some traffic, switch is forwarding some traffic. That means definitely by default there is some protocol running, yes or no?
Yes.
Like as I show CDP neighbor. So I have not configured CDP, but by default CDP is enabled. That's why we are able to use the command and we are able to see the CDP neighbor. Getting my point?
Yes.
So here if I will run show MAC address table and then question mark and then aging time. So it is showing me what is the aging time, 300 seconds. As I told you that after 300 seconds switch is going to flush the dynamic entry. Switch is going to remove the dynamic entry. Getting my point?
Yes.
And show MAC address. Show MAC address, let's say table. And see, I want to find show MAC address table and dynamic. In real time, if you will run show MAC address table, then there will be lots of entry. So you have to filter the output. Like here I am filtering show IP MAC address table dynamically like this. And this time I am interested to check that this MAC address, this is the MAC address, or I don't know what is the MAC address over here. I want to check what is the MAC address of PC1. So interface F0/0. See the MAC address of PC1. This is the MAC address of PC1. I want to check that switch have learned this MAC address of PC1 on which interface. Getting my point? My concern is what? I want to find PC1 MAC address. Switch have learned PC1 MAC address on which interface. I can run command show MAC address table, after that address, and I can put the address here, and then nothing. So see, directly it is showing me, yes or no, that this MAC address is learned on fast Ethernet 1/0/1, and total number of MAC address in this criterion is 1. So whenever you will run command show MAC address, it will show you the total number of MAC address in output also. So if I am running command, if I have running command show IP show MAC address table dynamically, it is showing me dynamic entry. If I will say show MAC address static, it will show you a static entry. If you want to check the aging time, so you can run command show MAC address aging time. It will show you what is the aging time. Aging time for VLAN 1 only, right? Because there is by default only VLAN 1. I'm going to create one more VLAN over here. Let's say VLAN 20. So exit. And now if you will check show MAC address aging time, you can see still it is showing you only for VLAN 1 MAC aging time is 300 seconds. This is global time, guys. I'm going to put one interface, let's say F1/0/2, and switch port access VLAN 20. We will discuss VLAN, don't worry. Now it's showing me MAC aging time for VLAN 1 is also 300, and for VLAN 20 is also 300. Okay, and so MAC address table, MAC aging time, and then if you want to check for a particular VLAN, let's say for VLAN 1 I want to check MAC aging time, so this is 300, and for VLAN 2 is not there, for VLAN 20 is also 300 seconds, and we can change this aging time also, MAC aging time also, we can change this value also. Got it?
Yes.
And rest command is show MAC address table aging time is fine, aging time, and then I don't have any option. So if you don't have any option on real devices, that means really you don't have any option, because this is not packet tracer. Then guys, I can use address command. As I told you that you can check interface from address also, we have used this command also. Then I can use count command. So see, if I am running this command, so MAC address table and count, what is saying, dynamic address count is 0 for which VLAN? For VLAN 1. Dynamic count is 0, static count is 0, and total MAC address is also 0. For VLAN 20, dynamic MAC count is 2 and total MAC address is 2, and total MAC address space available is 6045. That means it can learn up to 6045 MAC addresses in their MAC address table. How many MAC address it can learn?
6045. So that means we can connect like 6045 devices to this switch.
No, there, as I told you, there are some MAC address of protocol also. Let's say this is my switch, and through this switch I have one more switch, and this switch have 1000 user. So this switch will learn MAC address of these all 1000 user on a single interface. Yes or no?
Yes.
Getting my point? So that can be your scenario. In that scenario, also in this scenario, switch have to learn all MAC address, thousands MAC address on a single interface. So switch can learn multiple MAC address on a single interface
Got
as
it.
well.
Got it. Got it.
This is not like we can connect this much devices with a single switch. Switch have how many interface? So run. Switch have only 24 interfaces. Means you can connect only 24 devices. Getting my point?
Yes.
Switch have 24 fast Ethernet port and 2 giga interface port. So total 26 number of ports are there. So we can connect only 26 user or devices. Got it?
Yes.
Then so MAC address table and again question mark. So we have discussed count also, we have discussed dynamic also. On a particular interface also I can check, okay, and I can use a static keyword. Then I have two options, multicast and notification. So we are not going to discuss these two here. Multicast information for selected wildcard mask, this is not in our syllabus. And notification MAC address parameters and history table, this is also not in our syllabus. But here I can use this command VLAN interface, VLAN, and after that let's say VLAN 20. So like this also I can run so MAC address table VLAN 20. So MAC address table VLAN 20, it will show you, see, these two interfaces are in VLAN 20 and these are for all interface. Fine. Okay, now I don't have any option here
So
in show command.
why VLAN 20 has two interfaces?
I
From
have
where?
assigned, don't worry, when we will discuss VLAN then I will make you understand that.
Okay.
I have assigned both interface in VLAN 20, so that's why it's showing you.
Okay.
That is concept of VLAN. Here MAC address table, and then if you want to check MAC aging time, let's say I want to set 100. That's it. Now do so MAC address table. So MAC address table and what? Aging time. So what is the aging time for VLAN 1?
100.
What is the aging time for VLAN 20?
100.
100. Because I have changed the aging time for all VLAN. For a particular VLAN, if you want to change, you can do that also. Here, we can say MAC address table aging time, and then
VLAN 20.
what aging time you want to set. Let's
VLAN
say 500. Getting my point? Zero entry will disable aging time. If you want that for a particular MAC address, aging time should be 0. So route switch will never flush or never remove that entry. Getting my point? So if I will, let's say, set value 0 for any VLAN, for any interfaces, for any VLAN or for any interfaces, if you will set aging time what? 0 for, let's say, VLAN 20. So now switch is not going to flush the MAC address which switch will learn in VLAN 20. So MAC address table aging time. Now you can see aging time for VLAN 100 is 100, but aging time for VLAN 20 is 0. So for a particular VLAN also, if you want to change the aging time, you can change it. Okay.
So
I'm going to
if engine
remove-
time is higher is good or lower is good, which one is good?
See, it depends on requirement. Higher is if you have sent, let's say, higher time on a switch, okay, and switch have learn 6,000 MAC addresses. So now MAC address space is not there for MAC address. Yes or no?
Okay, got it.
So this is problem. If there is lower time, then newer MAC address will come and older MAC address will flush. Yes or no?
Mm-hmm.
So that's why 300 second is good. You should leave it for default.
Okay, got it.
Just I am making you understand how we can manipulate these things. Okay.
Okay.
And say no VLAN 20 and interface range f1/0/122. I'm going to say switch port access VLAN 1. I have set this interface in VLAN 1. I have removed the VLAN configuration and MAC address table, and then till now we have discussed the aging time only. We will not discuss about the notification, move key here and static. Okay, so these are not in our syllabus. Static, and here we can put the MAC address like you want to make a static entry. A static entry will be permanent. So MAC address table static, and after that you need to define the MAC address. Let's say I am going to define MAC address of PC1. So interface f0/0 include bytes. So this is MAC address of PC1. I'm going to make a static entry on switch for this particular MAC address. So here I can put the MAC address, and then we need to put VLAN. So let's say VLAN 1, and then which interface? Which interface? So interface fast Ethernet 1/0/1. You will set this MAC address on f1/0/1. This is how we can configure a static entry. Done.
So I'm confused about that fast Ethernet 1/0/1. Actually, we have there like 0/1 and 0/2.
Just instant of thinking 0/1. 0/1 I am using yes 1/0/1. So here everything is same. Just I have one more slot here. So we will discuss about this.
Okay.
This is in our syllabus.
But that's why when I see the topology, there is 0/1. I didn't see any.
No, let me make you understand this on no. What do you mean by 0/1? 0/1 means port number is 1 and slot number is 0. Yes or no? And 1/0/1 means port number is 1, slot number is 0, and card number is 1. We have, let's say, option to insert multiple card on a switch. I have 4 slot available. This is S1, S2, S3 and S4. If I will insert one card over here, there will be some port. Let's say this is port number 0 and this is slot number 1. So this port will get what ID? 0/1. And okay, leave now. And here I am using /1 for stacking. This is for stacking, that when I will discuss stacking, then I will make you understand this one. Don't worry.
Okay.
Rest configuration is MAC address table, and what is in move?
We didn't study move yet.
These are not part of our syllabus, by the way. I also don't know
Okay.
what is the use of move, this command. Yes, this is the very simple. We can enable or disable MAC notification on a switch. Whenever we are learning the MAC addresses, it will generate one log message, but by default it is disabled. We don't need to do anything. Okay, so we have discussed everything about MAC aging time, MAC address table. Now hope you are able to understand how switch learn MAC address on a particular interface, and how switch take forwarding decision. Means how switch